So talk to us about the trends you found in the study and what surprised you most.
Sure. Hi, Emily. Thanks so much for having me. We've really commissioned this study to make sure that we could learn from the market, learn from our customers, and make sure we were aligning the investments at Microsoft in the way that we wanted to see them go for our customers. And that really helped us drive things like industry clouds. As I think about what surprised us the most, probably in a really positive way, was their focus and energy around employee engagement, employee wellness, and social consciousness. So we expected to see them say, we know the digital transformation isn't a nice to have, it's a must have. It's not even a competitive advantage anymore, frankly. It's a need be in order to accelerate our transformation. But that pivot towards customer, I think for us around employee, around social consciousness was really nice to see.
We're seeing more and more companies now sort of put their stake in the ground, what policy they're going to have about a return to work or not come September. Google, made a sort of abrupt turn. It seemed like they were going to take a more traditional route and ask for everyone to come back to the office. Now they are allowing employees to work remotely indefinitely. Do you feel there is one right way to go?
I don't. I think this is very cultural. So as you go from company to company, I think the key is actually just to have a plan that you make sure that you're clear about what you want as an organization, that you take employee feedback. We mostly expect a hybrid work environment. So really what we're driving towards with our customers to think about how they use technology to enable that environment, how you manage both work from home and work in the office, and things like Microsoft Teams and collaboration tools allow our customers to do that more. So I think I would advise just that we are thinking about a plan and make sure that you're really clear in getting employee feedback when you're putting that plan together.
Now, when you're looking at the companies and industries that met the digital challenge well, it seems like many did rise to the challenge. But I wonder where you're seeing industries still lag.
I think they did. It was interesting when you said in the start, 74% of our customers that were surveyed said they felt like they were doing fairly well as they think about the transformation. I think organizations that traditionally have a lot of disparate systems have a harder time gathering data and information to create great insights. So that exists in places like healthcare and retail, even as an example, has had to think about how they make this incredible pivot with what's happened with the pandemic. And there's some really interesting examples. REI is a great one when we think about retail has been in a space where people walk into stores. Some are ordering online, but rarely are they doing both at the same time. And the pandemic has driven these customers to say, I've got to be ready to take orders via technology. I got to be able to deliver curbside. And REI is a great example of a customer who's been able to not only deliver on that, but also expand from an innovation perspective. So they're now doing virtual shopping and they're creating these opportunities where you can fix bikes online or assemble them online. You can even fit your hiking boots. So where we see really interesting opportunities is where they take the challenge and they actually pivot it towards acceleration of their capability.
Meantime, we've been covering this Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack through the weekend. It's terrifying. We're talking about large swaths of the country that could be without fuel if things don't get under control. I know Microsoft, of course, has many cyber defense initiatives. But talk to us about the risks of companies being increasingly digitized when the cyber attackers always seem to be one, if not 10 steps ahead.
This is a super important issue, obviously, to all of our customers and to Microsoft as well. And we deeply care about security. So when you think about the types of things that come forward for us, such as industry clouds, security, compliance, regulatory opportunities, privacy are all deeply embedded in the clouds that we release. So it's critically important. It has to be part of the plan that our customers put together when they think about what they're going to do from a cloud perspective. Deeply important to Microsoft and something we'll continue to focus on.
So, we're in this transition point now where we're, coming out of a pandemic after going into one. And I wonder what you think we'll be talking about a year from now. How much of the world will have turned back to, the normal that we knew? Or will it be a completely different world that is hard to predict?
I don't personally think it's going to be a normal that we knew. I think that companies are going to continue to accelerate the transitions that they've started. I think they're all finding ways to innovate differently. I think the role of the employee continues to get more important, and to see companies react the way that they have, to say that we're deeply concerned about our employees and their well-being. I think we're going to see more of that. And at Microsoft, we're focused deeply on making sure that we create skilling opportunities for both employees and the world at large. We have some pretty incredible global skilling initiatives that have skilled 30 million people around the world. And we're going to push that even further with LinkedIn, thinking about how do we create the opportunity for people to really understand the skills that they have and share them so they have opportunities in the workforce. So I actually think it's going to take us more towards this environment where we are more technology enabled. We're creating more opportunities for employees, and we're also driving better social consciousness. And that was another piece that came out of the survey that we did, that everyone feels this role that is not just about them or their company. They recognize that they need to do more for the environment at large. And Mount Sinai is a super good example of that. I mean, they're using HoloLenses and Dynamics 365 to do remote surgeries in Uganda. And things like that are starting to come out because of the experiences that we had. So I tend to be an optimistic person, and I think that we're all going to orient around ways to continue to provide value and enable and empower people.